Good day, welcome to part 2 of my build video log on the Hasagawa 1/72 scale Mark III Dambuster Lancaster. Haven't had a lot of time to do work on it, but I am slowly but surely getting through what I call the fiddly bits. I've also been updating my build progress on my own blog, stuartclark.ca/hobbies, as well as a build thread on International Scale Modeler. Basically, I've started by starting the cockpit photo etch. This is, for such a small area, this takes up quite a bit of time. I am using the Edward interior set. I've also got the exterior, and we'll be covering that later on. So basically, I've started by adding photo etch to the cockpit areas of the model. As you can see, this photo etch usually goes in two parts. You usually have some pre-painted stuff, and you also have some other ones that isn't. So the idea is attach what you can that is not pre-painted, and that way you can airbrush your thinner, or your primer and your base color. So for example, hopefully that comes up. You can see there's some areas there that I previously placed and then they were painted over. Done that with both sections, and then I've added a primer and a base coat and a little bit of weathering so far. The photo etch, I have to say, the Edward stuff is gorgeous. I'm going to see if I can get a little detail here of the cockpit area. This is just an absolutely tiny piece, but it's beautiful when it's all done, but it does take some time. Hopefully you'll see that. Moving on, these cockpit sections in the photo etch, a little bit of a challenge, but not too bad. So what I've done is as I said, I completed the most of the cockpit detailing so far. I then primed it all using my go-to primer, the Vallejo Black primer. I know a lot of people have issues with it, but it works for me, so if it works. And then this time, I didn't have any of my Mr. Hobby Aquilas interior green, so I actually tried the interior, or the cockpit green, XF71 from Tamiya. And then I've done a little bit of ink and washing, dirty wash with some Games Workshop black ink. I'm not a big fan all the time of their stuff, but the black inks do work fairly well. So I've just started that in the cockpit area, and then I've also done some of the seating area. The pilot seat still has to be painted, and the radio navigator and seat, and the radar officer or radio officer's seats. I should note that the photo etch underneath where these seats go, there is some very fine little stands. I actually buggered up one completely, and I'm still debating if I'm going to try and do the second one, considering by the time it's done, you're just going to be looking basically like that down to the seats. So we'll see what happens. So there's still quite a bit of painting and detailing and stuff to go there. But so far I've been very, very pleased with it. I do have a photo etch bending set I use, but I also find for some of the detail work I've been using these little jeweler's eye loops, however you pronounce it. I got a 3-pack from Lee Valley Tools here in Canada for a real good deal, and I got this other one somewhere else, I don't remember where, but they're really handy for when you want to get in close and check to see if alignment's right. I found them very useful when I was doing the pre-painted instrument panels, because there would be a layer, at least 2 layers, and you'd have to match them up, and it's very, very small. And this way you can just come right in and you can see if everything's all lined up. So basically I'm going to continue detailing out the cockpit. There's a few things that still have to be done for photo etch before I can seal it up completely. The next thing in the paint booth actually is the top of the bomb bay and the cockpit floor where there's some photo etch on. So that'll be the next thing to go through the spray booth. And I hope to have some more frequent updates, no promises, but we'll see how this goes. And hopefully you'll find it useful as well. So far I'm very happy with the kit. It goes together very well. What parts I've done a little bit of test fitting for things like wings and that, but we'll get into that in installments. So there we go. If you want more updates, feel free to check into the other videos on my YouTube channel or my website, or I'll see you on internationalscalemodeler.com. Thank you, and be well.